Hey y'all, it's Brian Krogsgaard from Ledger Status, and what I want to do real quick is just a simple Bitcoin price analysis video, super short, and just I want to highlight what we see on the chart. So let's get to it. And first off, what you should notice is that in this low 1 hour time frame, we've got some bullish consolidation, and this is the type of low time frame chart that I really enjoy because what you saw is an initial pattern kind of set up where someone could say, hey, this was some kind of pennant or triangle consolidation setting up. It failed, but then when it failed, it made still a higher low and set up a little bit more of a sustainable longer term consolidation with several touch points. And now we're getting to the area where we'll be able to find out, hey, is this thing going to break up or break down, and get, a little bit more thorough of a move. So let's just work our way up these time frames. What I like about this as well is we had a clear markup pattern, and this is just kind of a textbook markup followed by consolidation. We have no guarantees that this breaks one way or the other, but we can try to, figure if it does break up or if it does break down, what should we look forward to? If it does break down, I would just go straight back to where our previous breakout zone was, and I would look for a retrace back to just sub 8K, something in that region. And similarly, if it breaks up, you would typically measure the length of the flagpole out of the consolidation area. So that would be what could get us up near 10K on the top side. However, we don't just want to leave it to those low time frames. We want to see how it lines up to other parts of our chart. When you're doing trend following strategies, I like to keep it simple. I love the 200-day moving average. I love the 20 and the 50-day moving averages. But if you just leave me two things, I'll throw on the 20-day and the 200-day. And they're kind of lining up here. If we get a more severe dump down, if this breakout pattern fails, then I would want to see some buying happening around 8K. And that's where I would want to look to be a buyer as well. And then if it does break up, you can see on the daily time frame, this consolidation is not near as clean, it's not near as well formed, but it doesn't mean that we can't mark up and start creating a larger time frame consolidation in some way up there. I don't want to get greedy no matter which direction this goes up. If it breaks down, I don't want to say, oh, well, now we're going to 5K. Or if it breaks up, I don't want to say, oh, well, 16K, here we come. I want to treat a low and mid time frame consolidation as just that, as one that we trade on low and mid time frame ranges. And what we're really doing, whether we break up or down, is kind of framing what our high time frame consolidation may end up looking like. Now, could we just mark up and up and up and keep doing low and mid time frame consolidation as we continue marking up bullishly into the halvening or whatever your narrative is? Yes, it's possible. But what I think is more likely is that eventually you start to see some kind of higher time frame pattern start to take over, and you adjust from analyzing lower and mid time frames and try to see what is this chart telling me on the higher time frames. Currently, since we're in a little bit more of a no man's land on the daily time frame, that's why I'm leaning into these middle time zones. We already got the big move that I was personally seeking, which was a break above this 20-week. You can see here on TrendSpider, I already had a alert set on that 20-week break. So we got the bullish break that I was looking for, and now once again, that's kind of in that zone where I'd want to be a buyer if it retests that 20-week breakout. And the next big thing topside I'm looking for is, can we make a higher high on a weekly time frame over about 10.2 on a weekly close? That's when we're really looking to mark up aggressively up to about 11.1, 11.2 on the next higher high. But that would be very bullish to be able to make this high here, have that huge drawdown that we saw and then make a higher high off of that. That's what would make me think that, we are going to really push up in Bitcoin, look for significant markup, as if we make this higher high on the weekly. So until then, what it means is really that's my lane of resistance. Naturally, people love these round numbers with Bitcoin. So we're going to look for some serious potential selling, probably just below 10K because of the round numbers, but it's where we consolidated here, and it's what made our high here. So I'm really going to be interested if we push up on this mid time frame consolidation, how we respond in that zone. And if we can get a weekly close past it, then that sets us up for significantly more bullish potential. And if we fail this zone, then I'm looking down here. So great. I told you it's going to go up or down. But I also told you more than that, because I think we can seek our next trade based on what happens with this lower time frame consolidation. So how do you know whether to get in or out? Well, if you're looking for a breakdown, then you would look, again, using the time frame that you're making the trade on or doing your analysis on. If I'm making the trade based on this 4-hour time zone or time frame, I want to see a 4-hour close below the prior 4-hour close low. So if I get a close on the 4-hour below here, then I'm going to look for another $500 or $600 down. If I get a 4-hour close above, I'm willing to even use this mini high right here, above 9K or so, then I'm going to look for markup potential. And that's the part of the trade that I could take part in. You don't have to be in for the whole trade. That's the part of the trade that I would personally seek a piece of. And similarly, you could do that analysis on the hourly time frame if you wanted to snipe it just a little more. Just keep in mind you might be getting stopped out when you try to do that. So if you try to get in here, you're getting a few extra bucks before you're in on that hourly open, but it is significantly tighter on your stop on the breakdown. So if we go below this level here, then on that hourly close, then you may stop out of your positions and seek that downside breakout even without that lower low. That's why you have a better chance of getting stopped out if you do that. So exactly what you look at in terms of your risk and reward and where you would stop out, it's kind of up to you and the way you maybe lean on a more macro scale. But what I'm seeing here is kind of a classically bullish consolidation pattern, and I'm biased towards upside. And that's a trade that I'm willing to take with a little bit of margin if it starts to trigger my buy stops. So if I get that 4-hour close above, then I want to be in that trade for the next $500 or $600. And if I get a close down below, maybe I would look to risk off some or hedge short or whatever your strategy may be. So that's how I'm looking at Bitcoin. I hope that was helpful for you. If so, let me know. Hit subscribe. I want to do more videos like this, these kind of short form price analysis types of things. I've been working on my setup to try to improve that and to enable myself to make these more easily. So let me know if you like it. If you don't like it, whatever, hit me up, and we'll see you soon.